Shareholder. My name is Kimberly Logan. I run operations here for us at iConsumer, and I'm working with Rob Grosshandler to bring you today's webinar. If I can get Rob to slide back a couple of slides. Here are some basic information. Oops, that's one too many. Basic information on joining the webinar. There is a phone number there. If you're not able to dial in with your computer, you can give us a call and listen in. We will also be recording this, so if we move a little too fast or you have more time later to watch it, we'll post that to the support portal and on our YouTube channel. If you have questions, please go to that GoToWebinar portal there and type in your questions. We already got a thank you from Michael Dowell, and we are glad to have you on board, Michael. And if we don't get to your questions in the presentation, we will gladly take them at the end of this 20-minute, half-hour presentation from Rob.
That sounds like you're throwing it to me.
That's what I just did.
Jeez, if I were only a professional. Thank you again for being here this afternoon. I'm Robert Grosshandler. I have the pleasure to be hosting you today. I'm with Kimberly Logan, who actually knows something. We're going to cover 6 important things. First and foremost, just to remind you, we are recording this. We will post a link to the video either later today, tomorrow morning. And secondly, and way more important, we love your questions. Hopefully you love our answers. So we're going to cover today what it means to be a shareholder in a public startup. We're going to talk a little bit about the market and a market recap. We're going to talk at some length about how the entire iConsumer thing works, what it means to go shopping and earn shares in a public company. We're going to talk a bit about how you can sell those shares that you've earned. Most importantly, for the middle of the half an hour we're going to spend is talking to you and explaining how you can refer friends and maximize your ownership. This helps all of us. The more people who are using iConsumer, the happier we'll all be. And then lastly, as it dips into the sub-zero temps where I am, I don't know where you are, I'm going to invite you. I'm going to invite you to join us in Orlando. So enough with the preamble. What's it mean to be a shareholder in iConsumer? It means that you own a piece of the company. You get to refer to iConsumer as your company. We like this because it means that when we do well, you do well, and you are incented, if you will, to help us do well in kind. You reap the benefits of your company's success. And one of those benefits is the potential for increased stock valuation. That is, if our stock is selling for 14 cents and it goes up to 20 cents and you sell it at 20 cents, you just made yourself 20 cents a share, 14 cents a share, 2 cents a share, depends on how much it goes up. We're going to talk a little bit about liquidity, what it means to be able to buy and sell our stock, RWRDP, on the stock market. You can always find out what it's worth today, right now, by Googling it. And you just type in OTCQB, RWRDP, and you will find out what the last person paid. You'll also see what people are bidding, what people are offering to sell at, and what people are offering to buy at. All right, so here it is. This is actually as of yesterday, and the last person to buy something paid 13.55 cents, 1.1355. That's pretty cool. When we started out, we were selling stock for a nickel a share. It's been as high as recently. It's been as high as 18 cents. So there's going to be variability in the price of our stock. Here's a little bit of an indication of what people are interested in bidding for it and what people are interested in buying it for. Let's see if I can't get the pointer to work here, right? So here we have a whole bunch of folks who are bidding anywhere from a nickel a share. Ooh, I'm not supposed to do that. Anywhere from a nickel a share to a penny a share, right? But on the other side, people are willing to sell for anywhere from 12.5 cents to 14 cents to 30, almost 36 cents, 39 cents, 48 cents, right? So there's a disparity here. That's one of the interesting things about the market. We have people who are willing to sell at a price that's higher than people are willing to buy. That's not unusual. You can see the last sales and transactions, right? So on the 8th of January, someone paid 13.5 cents for 1,000 shares. On the 28th of December, someone paid 14 cents, 14.9 cents, 18 cents, and a nickel way back in November for 1,000 shares. So you can see the progress of our stock price, right? Okay, so how do you get that stock? Well, there are two ways. You can go buy it, and then you can buy it on the market, or more likely, you earned it because you're one of the over 50,000 members who shopped at the over 2,000 retailers associated with iConsumer. We're making money when you go shop. We're sharing that money with you every time you shop. We share it in the form of stock. You earn RWRDP every time you go shopping. You'll also earn RWP, can't speak today, RWRDP when you refer shoppers and sometimes when you do other activities. Again, you earn stock for shopping at one of those 2,000 stores.
You may also 200,000.
There you go. I don't think so, unless every member has their own store. 2,000 plus stores. We're actually quite proud of that number, and it's Kim and her team that manages those 2,000 stores. You also, by the by, earn cash back when you shop at those 2,000 stores. So not only are you earning our stock, which is a long-term kind of a play, you're earning cash in the near term. How do you sell that stock? Well, it actually is reasonably easy. It's not as easy as I would like it to be, and it's not as easy as it's going to be, but it's not particularly hard. You go through a couple of steps. You tell us to transfer your stock from us to our transfer agent. That's Issuer Direct. There's a cost for that. We have to do a bunch of anti-money laundering. We need to make sure that you're not a terrorist. We do this once a month, right? It costs $7.50. Now it's over at Issuer Direct. You'll probably want to move it to a stockbroker. Our stockbroker of choice is TD Ameritrade. They charge a very little bit of money when you tell them to sell your stock, and we like that. So you've got your stockbroker account at TD Ameritrade. I really can't speak today. TD Ameritrade. You tell Issuer Direct, working with TD Ameritrade, to transfer your stock from Issuer Direct to your brokerage account. The way you do that, you initiate it at your stockbroker. You need a subscription agreement from us. It costs about $25, and it takes 5 to 10 days. There's actually people involved in the transfer of stock from Issuer Direct to your brokerage account. And then when you're ready to sell, you tell TD Ameritrade, I want to sell my stock. You tell them the price that you're willing to sell it at. You tell them any other kinds of particulars about selling your stock. And then they sit around and say, okay, Joe or Josephine has 1,000 shares that they're willing to sell for 15 cents. Is anybody willing to pay 15 cents? When somebody is willing to pay 15 cents, they get together with the folks at TD Ameritrade and they buy your 1,000 shares. It won't happen until somebody is ready to buy at that price. How do you go about having the most number of shares you can possibly have? All right. First, you shop on iConsumer. You get shares Every time you shop at those 2,000 stores, you earn more shares, you earn stock when you tell friends. That's our Refer a Friend program. And lastly, but certainly not least, you can actually direct invest in iConsumer. Go to www.iconsumer.com/invest, and you can buy our shares. Three ways. Shopping is great. We make money. You get shares essentially for free. Tell people, refer a friend, or invest. Why does this all work? I like to talk about it being our secret sauce, right? If this works the way it's supposed to work, the more valuable we are, the more likely our stock price is to go higher. The SEC is sitting on my shoulder, and I can't sit here and promise you that our stock price is going to go higher if we have lots more members and there's lots more shopping. But that's the way it's supposed to work. Lots more members, lots more shopping by each member should, we hope, we believe, we expect, will drive our stock price higher. You own that stock. You can sell that stock when you're ready to. It's better to sell it for a high price than for a low price, right? We don't control that stock price. It goes up and down, as you saw from that last chart. It is certainly impossible for anybody to control, very impossible for us to control. The only thing we, that's you guys and the iConsumer folk, can truly control is how much shopping happens. That's within our control. The more shopping, the more valuable we are. But to repeat, there are no promises that our stock price will go up or go down. So what's happened over time? Well, if you were a direct investor in iConsumer, that is, if you wrote a check to iConsumer in order to buy our stock, here's what you might have seen. You would have paid 4.5 cents a share if you bought it in the 2016, early 2017 timeframe. You would have paid 9 cents a share in the 2017 through early 2018 timeframe. And now, if you were to buy stock from us, you'd be paying 15 cents a share. So here's something to note. You notice that there were people willing to pay a nickel a share for our stock. I'm going to go back up a couple here. This is really interesting, right? So they're willing to pay that nickel a share, but nobody is selling. Everybody wants a lot more money. That means they expect our stock price to go up. I expect our stock price to go up. All right. There's a lot to learn here. So many people who are members in iConsumer have never been shareholders in a public company before. Perhaps you have a 401k that invests in public company stock, but so many of us, that's not the case. So we created Shareholder Academy to make it easier for you to know a little bit about this jargony world of the public startup. We also have an entire resource for you called support.iconsumer.com that is an interactive place to ask questions, to get more information about the specifics of iConsumer. How does iConsumer work? Oh, geez, maybe I got credit I wasn't supposed to get, or I didn't get credit I was supposed to get. Support.iConsumer is, as we say on the screen, your friend. Right now, here's warmth, and there's actually a picture of me looking a little furry. I'm talking twice at the Money Show in Orlando, end of the first week, beginning of the second week of February. I'm going to be talking about why people should be investing in iConsumer. Come on down, visit us. There's free tickets on our, actually at Shareholder Academy, we have a link so that you can get those free tickets. And we're going to be telling people why investing in iConsumer is a good idea. And we're also going to be recruiting additional members and customers. My main job is to make sure that we have sufficient capital to build a great company, that we gather sufficient members so that we really do have a great company, and to make sure that our investors get the information that they need so that they can judge our progress and judge whether or not they would like to be or continue to be investors in iConsumer. So come on down to Orlando. It's Thursday night, all day Friday, and all day Saturday. Since it's going to sub-zero temperatures where I am really looking forward to this. All right, so we are a public company. Everything I said has a great big asterisk because I can't promise anything. I do not know what the future is going to be. I know what we would like it to be. I know what we're working for it to be, but we don't know what it's going to be. Life could deal us a bowl of lemons, or it could give us a really sweet glass of lemonade. I'm anticipating lemonade. We'd love some questions. One of the great parts of doing what we're doing with our 50,000 plus members and shareholders is engaging with you. I don't have all the answers. Kim has more than I do, but we would love some questions. So, do we have any questions, Kim?
I have a question from Terry. Wanted to know about that direct investment. Is there a minimum, or do I need to be accredited to invest? How does that work?
That's a great question. Thank you, Terry. Let's answer the second part first. We spent an enormous amount of energy, time, and money so that you do not have to be an accredited investor to be a shareholder in iConsumer. That is, you can be an ordinary Joe or Josephine. There is a minimum, and I actually haven't looked at the minimum recently, so I've forgotten what it is. It's about $100 or $200. It's a very low minimum. We wanted to make it possible for, again, ordinary folks to be able to be investors in iConsumer. We want this journey to include as many people as possible. Our mission really is to create a really big company that includes ordinary people making it happen. That is, the people who build the business, our customers, our members, are the people who can profit if and when it gets big.
Okay, we have a question from Michael. Is there an update for retailers that are slow to respond to purchase verifications? I'm going to go ahead and answer that one for you, Michael. We are in constant communication with the various merchants, obviously with 2,000. Some of them are really responsive and great at answering our questions on your behalf. Some of them take a bit longer. We typically expect, if you've submitted a missing transaction or a transaction inquiry about an order that you believe you should have gotten credit for and you didn't, the response there is typically 45 to 60 days. We do have a regular sort of poking process where if we haven't gotten any response in 5 business days, we'll poke them again and escalate it up that sort of chain of command. We don't get paid unless you get paid, so our goal is just as strong as yours is to get those taken care of in a timely manner.
Any other questions, Kim?
I don't see anything right off the bat. We'll give folks a second in case they're typing. While we're doing that, I'll let you know that in the chat box, I have included some of those links that Rob was talking about. So you can get to Shareholder Academy. You can go directly to that Invest page. You can see your tell-a-friend link, and also a link to the Money Show in Florida.
So I don't know if the Money Show link has a free ticket button on it. If you go to Shareholder Academy and click on there's an article there that talks about this. It's We Have a Secret, I think is the title of that article. The link in that particular Shareholder Academy article does have a free ticket button as part of it. Well, given that, I would like to say we got your questions answered. Thank you very much for submitting them. We love the fact that you guys are supporting us in this creation of a great big business. It is the first time anybody's ever built a business this way, and it is all because our members, customers, shareholders make this possible. So again, thanks on behalf of Kim and myself. I look
We have
forward
another
to...
question.
Oh my gosh, someone got in under the wire.
Under the wire. Oh, and another one. Who would I speak to for a prospectus?
If you go to /invest, iConsumer.com/invest, everything is there, including, most importantly, a link to the SEC filing, which is effectively the red herring in a traditional kind of a offering. The way we did it as a direct issuer, it is it's not called a red herring because it's a completed kind of a thing. It's just an always open direct offering. So go there and see what you like and ask questions if you have. Lynn, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, asks a great question. Stock is trading at 12.5 cents per share. Why would I want to pay 15 cents per share and at a minimum of $250? Any particular benefits? And he says, thank you ahead of time. I'm not even familiar with Chinese names. That may be a woman's name. If so, I apologize. This person said, the answer is go try and buy it for 12.5 cents a share on the open market. No one will sell it to you. We'll sell it to you for 15 cents a share. So you can bid 12.5 cents and no one is going to sell. That's the reason to buy it directly from us, because you can't get it any other way. If somebody wants to sell it to you at 12.5 cents, then by all means, you should go buy it for 12.5 cents. The next nuance on that is that when you buy it from us for 15 cents, we get the money. And we take that money and we invest it in building the business. So it goes a little bit further when you invest directly in iConsumer as opposed to buying it from somebody else. However, if you want to go spend that 12.5 cents and someone wants to sell it to you, that's great. We want our shareholders to be able to sell their shares when they want to, as quickly as they want to, for a price that they want to do it. So it is good that you spend 12.5 cents and buy a share of our stock. You can buy fewer shares on the market than you could spend less than $250. You're going to have a $5 or $6 or $7 transaction cost. All right, the TD Ameritrade will charge you maybe $7 or $8 to buy our shares. So there's sort of an economic calculus you need to go through when you look at that. But go buy it at 12.5 cents. We'll love you if you do it that way. We'll love you if you buy it for 15 cents from us. And so Michael talks about the bid and the ask, the market maker spread. Now we're getting complex. There are market makers in the OTC world. Those were those 4-letter things. I'm going to page up here and just really quick. We have plenty of time, so I want to show you one more thing since people are talking very specifically, right? So these are market makers. As a matter of fact, if you were reading the New York Times today or any kind of thing, the guy who founded Citadel, CDEL, which is an enormous brokerage firm, just paid the highest amount ever paid for a property, I think in the world, but certainly in the United States, paid like $240 million for a condo overlooking Central Park. So the guy who owns Citadel, is making money when someone actually pays or buys RWRDP. So Michael, thank you for talking about the market maker. Citadel is one of those market makers. I don't know. This is Cantor. I don't know all of the acronyms for the various market makers. It's a weird business, the market maker business. Do we have any further questions? We do not. So again, thank you. Kim, do you have any further thoughts that you would like to close with?
No, that's all I have. Thank you everyone for your time today. And if you did have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us at support.iconsumer.com and we'll get this recording up to you guys as quickly as possible.
Visit me in Orlando.
All right. Thanks, everyone.